Hello there, my name is Sarah Thomas. I'm a personal trainer, a fitness instructor, as well as a nutritionist. I am also a mom of 3 little ones. I'm an entrepreneur, a business owner. I'm also a wife to an entrepreneur. And I would say that we run a pretty tight scheduled household around here. So both of us being entrepreneurs, our work is at home, our home is our work. There's a lot of overlap. And what I do in my business is I own a wellness business that is both online as well as in person. So I see in-person clients, small group clients, I teach fitness classes in person, but I also have an online branch of my business that is actually the majority of what I do. So I can literally virtually see clients around the globe. I created an online wellness program called Burn Fat and Feast, and it has been extremely popular for all the women who are my age, 40 and above, experiencing hormone changes, metabolism changes, and just that extra weight around the middle. And so that online program actually helps them figure out how to best use their aging body to get to where they want to be, to live their best, healthiest lives yet. Now, all that to say, I've got a lot to juggle throughout my day. My clients often ask me how I do it. How do you do all of it? Well, I'm here to explain to you a little bit how I do that, how I schedule my time so that I can do more in less time and actually feel like I'm creating more hours in my day each and every day. And who doesn't need that this day and age, right? We could all use some more hours in our days. And so I have a few tips to help you internalize and sit back and honestly look at yourself to see, is this something that I could tweak to create more hours in my day and more time? And ultimately, the goal here is to get the work done, get the housework done, so that you can spend quality time with the ones that you love. So let's dive into some of our tips today. So your first tip, and we're talking some about technology today, so just be prepared. Your first tip today is to limit time online. Okay, there's a lot to talk about with this one, so let's start by saying this. How many times have you opened up, let's see, say Facebook or Instagram? And you open it up for a reason. Maybe you're going to look at someone's profile. Maybe you're going to a Facebook group to check something out. And you open it up for that reason, and immediately when you open it up, there's something there in front of you. And you start scrolling, or maybe it's like, ooh, I want to check out this blog post that just popped up when I opened Facebook, and you tap on it, and the next thing you know, it's 30 minutes later, and you haven't even checked out that Facebook group that you originally opened the app to do, right? It's so easy. I call them rabbit holes. So easy to be online, whether that's on your laptop, that's on your phone, you're searching on Safari or Google Chrome, and you're looking for one thing, which leads you to another thing, which leads you to another thing, etc. And it's a rabbit hole. We can go down these rabbit holes easily by clicking on links, going to blog posts, checking something out that somebody else recommended. There's so many rabbit holes out there with technology that we could be sitting here for an hour and literally get nothing done because you've gone through so many rabbit holes. So let's talk about how to limit it. There are many apps out there that you can download that will tell you how much time you've spent in a certain app, on Facebook, on Google Chrome, what have you, whatever your vice may be. You can also take these apps and set a time limit, and so it will cut you off at a certain time. Say I only want to spend 10 minutes on Facebook a day. Then that app will cut you off. It will remind you you've been 10 minutes inside that app. So that's using tech to actually manage some tech. Another thing that I personally do, because I get notifications throughout the day on my phone, through my Facebook groups, email, text. There's so many different ways that my clients can access me, which is a double-edged sword, right? Because they can access me at at any time, but I need to make sure that I'm creating boundaries for myself as well as them. So I turn off notifications when I'm sitting at my desk and when I'm working on my computer. I'm turning off notifications so that I can stay laser focused on what it is that I am doing. And I highly recommend, whether you work or you are a stay-at-home parent, that you do the same thing, because let's think, you're doing, let's say, a mindless task such as emptying the dishwasher, and your phone is dinging. People are text messaging you. If you stop and you respond to those text messages every single time you get them, how long is it going to take you to empty the darn dishwasher? Stay focused on the task at hand, limit that time online, turn your notifications off, or put your phone in airplane mode. I love to use airplane mode when I am focused on creating a workout, creating a blog post, or what have you. Turn those notifications off. So limit your time online. Decide what you're going to do. Decide how much time you're going to spend online. So give yourself some grace period. You know you want to check Facebook every day. You know you want to check it on your lunch hour every day. That's your time to check it. But don't continue opening that app throughout the day. And that can be easier said than done, right? Because oftentimes it's just a habit of it's there, it's in front of you, and you check it. So let's be laser focused and really decide how much time you're going to allow yourself to spend online, which frees up so much time. I literally read something the other day that said the average American spends 23 hours a week online. 23 hours a week online. We're almost wasting an entire day with the amount of time that we are spending online. Now, I do believe in that article it was saying that's email, that's search engine, that's Facebook, that's everything online. But 23 hours, that's a lot of time. So let's be a little bit more laser focused and intentional about when we are online, and limit the time and be truly laser focused when we are with our family and the ones that we love and want to be present around. Okay, tip number 2 is to plan your next day. Now, when this was presented to me through a business coach a few years ago, I thought, okay, great. I'm going to plan my next day. So I'm going to take the night before, when I should be with my husband, spending time with him and talking to him about the day, the only few hours and moments that we have together without the children. So I'm going to plan my day instead of being with him and miss the time that I'm with him. And so I was not a believer in this at first, needless to say. However, I am absolutely a believer now because I've implemented this for a few years now. Take some time the day before to plan the next day, and you will get more accomplished in your day. Again, whether you're talking business related items or you're talking household related items, planning your day is essential to getting more done and shaving hours off of your work day. So here's what I do. First and foremost, I don't do this at the end of the night any longer because it was impeding on the time that I had with my husband. So I no longer do it at night. I actually do this at the end of my work day. The end of my work day is typically right before my girls get off the bus from school. And so before they get home and before my focus is on my children, I sit down and I brain dump. So you're going to brain dump. When I say brain dump, that's everything you can think of. Like everything on your to-do list, from laundry to doctor's appointments to business things to working out to everything in between, meal prep, whatever it is. Brain dump everything on a piece of paper. Highly recommend that you use a piece of paper and a pen for this. There is power in pen to paper rather than using tech all the time. So dump this all out on a piece of paper. You may have 50 items. I've been there, 50 items that I want to do the next day. So you're not going to get all those things accomplished. You're just putting them on paper just to get them out of your head. That will automatically make you feel better just to get it on paper. Now you're going to take those items and you are going to prioritize them and only choose 5 to 7 action items for the next day. 5 to 7. I've tried this with 20, I've tried this with 15, and it doesn't work because you can't truly get that many things accomplished in one day. So identify 5 to 7 action items. Those are absolutely must-dos, non-negotiable, no matter what items that you are going to get done that next day. Those 5 to 7 items you are going to do, then you're going to prioritize your list into urgent, important but not urgent, and then maybe not important, okay? So prioritizing that list will help you decide what needs to be done first thing tomorrow. If you've read that book called Eat That Frog, or Eat the Frog, maybe it's Eat the Frog. Anyway, it's by Brian Tracy. It's a fabulous book. It will tell you to prioritize by doing the thing that scares you the most first, because that's often the time that you're gonna procrastinate with the most. And so I would also recommend that you take the thing that you feel like, ugh, I don't really wanna do this, and do it first the next day. So after you identify the 5 to 7 action items, you prioritize them and what has to happen tomorrow. So let's say you need a call to make a doctor's appointment, but do you have to make the call tomorrow? Maybe not. Maybe you can make that call the next day. So prioritize the things that really truly need to be done. And in all honesty, if they are high ticket items, sometimes you can only get 3 done. So your top 3 things, and then everything else is bonus. It's extra credit, right? Schedule these on your calendar. So that's kind of what I was just talking about. Do that hard, that scary thing first. Prioritize it first thing in the morning. You are most fresh. You are most focused, you are most creative first thing in the morning. That's the way our brain is set up to work. So prioritize those things. Make sure that you are scheduling it in your calendar. I use my phone as a calendar. I know some people like paper calendars. Whatever works for you, schedule it, because here's the thing. What gets scheduled gets done. What gets scheduled gets done, because what you schedule is your priority. If your workout is your priority, you're going to schedule it. If it's not a priority, you don't schedule it. If eating well is a priority, meal prep is something that you're going to schedule, just like laundry, just like dishes. And if you don't schedule it, it's probably going to be pushed to the next day. What gets scheduled gets done. So schedule it, make a list, and prioritize and plan that next day. Decide when a good time is for you to do that. Like I said, the evenings did not work well for me. So decide when you can plan your next day. When you jump out of bed the next morning, it's such an amazing feeling, because you know what you need to do. It's right there in front of you. And so it's like, whew, I got this. I got this. You got control of your day. Okay. Your third tip is to check your inbox 1 time a day. So this kind of goes back to limiting our time online, but I want to talk specifically about your inbox, because if your inbox is anything like mine, it can get out of control. And I've got multiple email addresses for multiple things, and it can be very, very overwhelming and time consuming. Checking your inbox 1 time a day is just darn right difficult, because again, that little mail app is so easy to tap on my phone to check throughout the day, but it's a time sucker, and I don't need to waste time and suck more time out of my day. I need to stay laser focused. So checking your email 1 time a day. Now, if you need to check your business email more than that, then that's an exception, but especially your personal emails. I have implemented this, and I cannot tell you how freeing it is. And let's be honest, an email that comes in at noon and an email that comes in at 5 p.m., it's not going to be that urgent. So if I check my email at noon and something else comes in at 5, well, I can respond by noon the next day. It's really okay. So check your email inbox 1 time a day, and here's what you're going to do. When you see an email, you're going to decide what to do with that email. Okay? So if that email is actionable, so if you can take that email and do something with it, if you need to respond to it, if it's something you need to put on your calendar, if it's actionable, you're going to either say, yes, it's actionable, no, it's not actionable. Okay, those are your 2 choices first. All right, so if no, it's not actionable, let's just say it's an email that you don't need to do anything with at all. You're going to do 1 or 2 things. You're going to either delete it because you don't need it, or you're going to file it for later. So if it's something, maybe it's a sale of something you want to check out, like your favorite store. Well, you don't need to do anything to it right now, and you don't need to spend the time to check the sale out right now. You're going to do that later. You're going to file it away in a folder. I have a folder in my email inbox that is labeled to look at later. And I literally have time on Friday where I look at all of those emails on Friday. So you're either going to delete it or you're going to file it for later if it's not something that is actionable. You don't need to take action at that moment. If the answer is yes, this email is something that I need to act upon, you're either going to respond and just do whatever it is and then check it off your list. You're going to defer it on your calendar as to, okay, I need to respond to this, but it doesn't have to be right now. You're going to put it on your calendar for responding later or whatever the action is later. Or you're going to delegate it. This is my favorite. And I'm type A and I love control, but I have learned the art of delegating. And delegating is amazing. And so if this is an email you can delegate to someone else, sometimes I delegate emails to my husband. Here, you handle this one. Delegating things out to other people or places, or just to say, I can't do that PTO thing, but I can send you money, or whatever the case may be. Delegate it out to someone else or something else. That will definitely free up more of your time too, because oftentimes you can just be the middleman on emails, and we don't need that. So the other thing you want to do is look at your junk email. I literally have an email address set up for junk email, and this junk email takes up so much time. I can have 1,000 emails on my junk email in any given week, and I'm constantly deleting them. And this is something that I need to go in and do too. So either if it's an email that you always delete and you never open it, well, you clearly don't need it because you don't ever look at it. So unsubscribe to it. Or there's also something called Roll Up, Unroll Me. I have to check on that, but Unroll Me or Roll Up, and you can take all of those emails, all of those emails that you get for special Labor Day sales and whatever, all those that you get from Express and from Amazon and all those places, you can put them in one email. And so it comes into one email versus 20 different emails. And then when you're ready to look at all of them, you can open that single email and see Old Navy and Express and Amazon and all your favorite stores and etc. right there. So use that. I can't remember if it's called Roll Up or Unroll Me. Anyway, something like that. You can search it and clearly find it. But I recently read an article that said the average American spends 10 hours a week deleting junk email. 10 hours a week deleting emails. Deleting emails. That's not reading emails. That's not acting upon emails. That is simply going in and you think, I'm just going to spend a few seconds to delete these out. 10 hours a week. What could you do with 10 hours a week? I could do a whole heck of a lot with 10 hours. So focus on checking your email inbox one time a day, making sure that you are deciding whether it's actionable, yes or a no, and doing something with those at that time or just coming back to it at another time. All right, so your last tip, your fourth tip, is to use batching. I am such a nerd when it comes to this. I truly, truly love the art of batching things. Now I use this in my business, and I'll give you an example of how I use it in my business, and then I will give you an example of just daily to-dos for moms and dads and etc. So in my business, I batch things such as videos. So if there's a day where I know I need to video some things like this, where I'm just sitting and talking to you, I will probably do 2 to 3 videos in one sitting. Why? Well, because I don't always fix my hair, because I don't always look presentable. And when I do, I want to make the most of it. I already have my video camera set up. I took a shower. I put on some makeup, and I'm already ready to do it. And so I'm in the mode of talking, of teaching, and I'm going to get all of it done at one time. It takes less time than to do it a little bit every single day. Another example is when I do my workout videos. So I create new workout videos for my Burn, Fat, and Feast clients every single month. Now, when I create the videos, here's what I do. I spend one day a month where I am creative, where I'm mentally thinking about what workouts I want to make for the following month. So that's my creative day where I sit down and I plan it all out. This workout and that workout, it's all planned out in one day. And so I do 3 to 5 workouts in one sitting. So those are Burn, Fat, and Feast workouts. Those are new workouts for YouTube, for Instagram, wherever I am posting new workouts. I plan those out in one day. Then another day is a filming day where I go to my basement and I film all of the workouts in one swoop. Why? Again, because it takes less time. My camera is set up, my weights are set up, my bench is set up, my timer is set up, and I am ready to go because it's easy. It's done. Boom, boom, boom. Workouts are done for the month, and then I can work on batching, editing them, etc. So that's an example of how I do my business, and it has decreased the amount of time that it takes me to do all of those tasks. Now, batching my life at my home, I also do that with laundry. So as a family of 5, sometimes it's hard to just batch laundry all in one day. I truly try to, because again, it takes less time to do it that way. But there are occasional times where we have to do 2 days a week because we need a cheerleading outfit or a baseball outfit or whatever that is not clean, and we'll have to batch 2 days a week. But we try to do all of it in one day. That is washing, drying, folding, and putting away. Done for the week, and we move on. I do the same thing with dishes. This is exactly why I meal prep every single week, because I plan all at one time, I prep and I cook all at one time, and I am done for the week. I literally heat the food up and we just move on. Takes less time. I get my kitchen messed up at once. I use all my pots and pans at once. I clean it all up at once, and it's done. These batching techniques will truly give you more time throughout your day. So take some moments today to sit down and think about what you can batch, what your daily routine looks like, what can you and your family use as batching in your day, and maybe in your work day, and in all areas of your life, you can find ways that you can batch to actually create more time in your day. Do more in less time. All right, so those are the 4 tips that I have for you. Real quick recap. We are going to limit our time online. Number 2, we're going to plan the next day. Number 3, you're going to check your inbox 1, maybe 2 times a day. And your 4th tip was to batch as many like-minded, similar types of tasks together at one time. I hope these tips were helpful, and I hope that they help you truly create more time in your day to spend with those that you love. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure that you like, you comment, and you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would love to hear from you, and I would love to hear what you want to hear more about next time. I'll see you soon.